Okay, hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, May the 10th. And we are continuing our study in A Course in Miracles. Instead of starting off with chapter 2, we're going to start off with the manual for teachers because we didn't get a chance to follow up with our manual for teachers last week. So we're going to do this, how is healing accomplished, along with, if we can remember, how some of the information that went along with this subject from last week, from last week's question, from last week's study. Forrest, would you like to begin us in prayer?
Sure. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you with an open heart and open mind to say thank you for giving us guidance. And tonight with this meeting, let us get the knowledge that we need, that we can help us with our spirit. We thank you for healing us mentally, emotionally, financially. And right now, as you come to us in love, we are in peace and we have grace and we have happiness. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
And so it is. That was beautiful.
Ariel, would you like to go ahead and start?
Okay, I can. Oh, wait, wrong page. As was mentioned, we're starting off with the manual for teachers this week, and the subject is how is healing accomplished? Healing involves an understanding of what the illusion of sickness is for. Healing is impossible without this. And I think the key there is that what they're saying is sickness is an illusion. And if it is an illusion, then healing is necessary. If it's not an illusion, then healing is not necessary. That's what I got from that, from those two sentences. What about you, Penelope?
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to read them again. I don't remember what it said. Oh, I don't
healing.
even know if I can. I don't even know.
Wait
if I
a minute.
Can. Oh, yeah, here.
I'll read it. Okay.
Healing involves an understanding of what the illusion of sickness is for. Healing is impossible without this. Well, one of the things that I do know about the Course is that everything that is manifested is illusionary. Simply because we are the reflection of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So spirit is the real, and everything manifest is the reflection of the real. So it says healing involves an understanding of what the illusion of sickness is for. And that's exactly what that means, is that, when we understand why we are believing in sickness,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean for us, I guess, individually and as a race of people?
Exactly.
Because everybody believes in sickness. And that's a hard belief to get past.
Well, even when I have aches and pains, I don't think I have. And I guess maybe that's an illusion. I don't know.
So even when you have aches and pains, you don't believe you have them?
I ignore them as if I don't have them, is what I'm saying, but basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing is, ignoring is not the same as not believing in them.
Right.
And I think as humans, because we have seen so much sickness and experienced sickness and have been talked about sickness and got remedies for sickness, and our bodies have, ailments that have to do with age or ethnicity or gender or something. There's something that, you know, our bodies perceive. So, you know, the belief in something that is so prevalent in our society and has been trusted for so long, it is difficult not to believe in it.
What
Did you want to
does,
go ahead?
no, oh no, I was just curious as to Fars's thoughts on that.
I don't think he heard you.
Hmm.
Harriet, I don't think he heard you.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then I'll go ahead. Oh,
Well,
wait, it
Forrest,
looks like
you're muted.
you're muted.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
What I was saying, I'm having a problem with my phone. I'm so sorry. I was saying with sickness, I think being a spiritual person, we take on top of all sickness. And so even with me being sick, I can understand, okay, take the medicine, but taking ownership over top of the sickness, even when we talk to people about sickness, is give them spirit knowledge with them that they don't take ownership to attach themselves to sickness. That's how I do not attach any sickness that I have today, because I don't have it. So does that make sense?
yes,
Spiritually speaking.
yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. The next section, the perceived, or section 1, the perceived purpose of sickness. Healing is accomplished the instant the sufferer no longer sees any value in pain. Who would choose suffering unless he thought it brought him something, and something of value to him? He must think it is a small price to pay for something of greater worth. For sickness is an election, a decision. It is the choice of weakness and the mistaken conviction that it is strength. When this occurs, real strength is seen as threat and health as danger. Sickness is a method conceived in madness for placing God's Son on his Father's throne. God is seen as outside, fierce and powerful, eager to keep all power for himself. Only by his death can he be conquered by his Son. And what in this insane conviction does healing stand for? It symbolizes the defeat of God's Son and the triumph of his Father over him. It represents the ultimate defiance in a direct form, which the Son of God is forced to recognize. It stands for all that he would hide from himself to protect his life, and life is in quotes. If he is healed, he is responsible for his thoughts. And if he is responsible for his thoughts, he will be killed to prove to him how weak and pitiful he is. But if he chooses death himself, his weakness is his strength. Now, has he given himself what God would give to him, and thus entirely usurped the throne of his creator? Wow. To me, that whole section is just, I think, showing the illusion of what sickness is all about. Because to me, it's saying that if we believe in it, because of the section itself, perceived purpose of sickness. So it's something that we have made up in our minds that's, okay, I'm going to be sick and I'm going to need a doctor's care or whatever is necessary in order to bring about a healing. That's my views on what I'm seeing there. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I hope definition sickness.
Say that again for us. You are broken up.
What is the what is the definition of sickness?
Okay. I was just looking to see if there was a definition in the thing. And I think if we go back and look at that last paragraph that we studied, the last judgment, I think while I'm looking up sickness,
Can you say it again? My phone went off.
oh,
Oh, she's looking it up.
I was
Okay.
looking it up, but I was
Okay.
looking in the revealing word and the glossary of terms from A Course in Miracles. And sickness is of the mind. It is insanity, mental illness, wrong-mindedness, the condition of the mind that believes in separation. Oh. Physical sickness is made by us by projecting onto the body our mental sickness. This projection is for a purpose. It reinforces the supposed reality of the ego. The Course mentions many ways in which sickness serves this purpose. The mind punishes the body to mitigate expected punishment from God and to usurp his perceived function. The mind makes the body sick to prove that it is stronger than God, who would heal. The mind punishes the body as a way of blaming the body for the sin. The mind had the body act out. The mind punishes the body as a way of punishing itself. So basically, and there's a lot more here, but basically, my understanding of what is being said here is that sickness begins in the mind. It's a thought. If I think I have a headache, then I have a headache. So, and interestingly enough, if I do have a pain in my head, a headache, or whatever you want to call it, my solution for that is to take a nap. I go to sleep, and usually when I wake up, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
I don't even have. I think the last bottle of aspirin or whatever I had for the relief of a headache, it expired and I threw it out, and I haven't bought any since, and that's been quite some time. I don't know when the last time I bought aspirin. So,
Well, for me, I don't know. I guess this is, for me, this is all fine and good if you're a grown adult and you are making choices in your life and you have come to believe some things, but babies are born sick. So how did they decide that, how is this a mind thought for them that they should, what
Feel pain.
trust in sickness,
Mhm.
you know, so and you know, I guess you could, you know, then you can go back to, you know, if you were you go back to reincarnation, and this is the thing that, you know, this is the body and the life that they have chosen to be in, all of those things, you know, it kind of makes sense in a while, in a way. But I think it's, you know, I have mostly, whenever we talk about sickness, we're talking about people who are making conscious choices.
Mhm.
And
Right.
and that just doesn't mesh with, to me, with sickness, because you can be born sick.
Yeah, that's
And I don't think that anybody who, you know, I don't think that people who are born that way have made this conscious choice to go along with believing that you know, that they are stronger than God. You know.
well. How can a baby? I mean, they don't have the ability to make that choice.
Yeah.
I don't think. Anyway.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
my phone
know,
was
so,
messed
you
up.
know, and so, you know, so some of these things to me, um, I guess make sense in one way, but not enough.
Mm,
There's
not
not
in the
enough
other way.
evidence
Right.
for, you know, for me to just simply say, take it at face value and say, okay, well, this makes sense, because it doesn't always make sense. You
Right.
know, like you
It
saying,
never
Harry,
makes
you know,
sense.
you choose not to take, you choose not to take an aspirin because you have a headache. You
Right.
know, there are some people that need to take aspirins because they have
Right.
headaches,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and it's nothing wrong with taking your
Mhm.
medicine.
Mhm.
Especially those that suffer with migraines.
Right.
Okay.
Or you know, it might not even be necessarily something that we, you know, we can't use a term like suffer. You
Right.
know,
Okay.
it
Right.
it
Mhm.
it just simply might be a part of their existence. I mean,
Right.
if you have been born, or if you something is, if you have this, if you are disabled in some way,
Mhm.
then, and you have to take medicine, well, then you have to take medicine.
Right.
And
Right.
it's nothing wrong with taking
Can I say
medicine.
something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
Mhm.
We can hear you, Forrest. Forrest. Well, first I
Okay.
thought we could hear him.
My phone went off. My phone keeps going on and off. T-Mobile is not good, so my phone keeps going on and off. So sorry.
So what were
Well,
you
you
gonna
said
say?
you wanted to say something.
Yes, I want to say something. So I was living a life of sickness as a drug addict. So because of that addiction, everything that said was spelled out, I was living a life of sickness as a drug addict. So coming through that, that definition was the life that I was living. So I'm glad I came through that. So no longer, but I was living the life of sickness, but no more.
Right. And
Mhm.
that's that number 4, this sentence number 4, for sickness is an election, a
Mhm.
decision.
Mhm.
Well, and that is, you know, I think that is very true, you know, because some, you know, for whatever reason
Mhm.
that you chose to do drugs, you were hiding from something,
Right.
or trying to block out something,
Right.
or, you know, resisting something.
Mhm.
So, you know, it was easier to mask whatever your dis-ease was through drugs.
Right.
And that makes sense,
Right.
because, you know, sometimes we have pain there, but we don't know how to,
Right.
we don't know how to ease the pain.
Right.
But I have known people who have been, you know, like who have been sick from birth, and they're the happiest people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're strong, they're confident, they're
Mhm.
reliable, they're always joyful.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. That is
And
so true.
for many of us who elect sickness for whatever reason, is it always that we are always trying to bring about some type of let's see, because I was running back and forth so I didn't get a chance to really hear the whole sentence. The whole paragraph.
Okay.
But I do feel that yes, there are some things that are in our minds that we have to grow out of, or
Right.
to look into.
Right.
Why am I electing this type of sickness? And I had to ask myself that the other day on Sunday, because I was so excited.
Okay.
I was so excited for Sunday.
Okay.
And I had a couple of days before that, I had pulled a card, and it was the five of Pentacles. And I said, oh gosh, what's getting ready to happen now?
Okay.
What's getting ready to happen now? And I kind of shrugged it off and didn't pay any attention to what the card meant, or how it might affect me in the future, or and I did have some stuff going on, so I figured it had something to do with that. But I can't say that I've necessarily elected to be sick. That it was necessarily a decision, but I can understand that principle as well.
Okay.
And if you look down at sentence number 6, the last portion of it, his weakness is his strength.
Where you see that?
Sentence 6 in paragraph 2.
Oh, paragraph 2. I didn't read.
Yeah,
okay.
the last part of the sentence, not the whole sentence.
If he is responsible for his thoughts, he will be killed to prove.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 7. I didn't see the 7 there. But if he chooses death himself, his weakness is his strength.
Okay, well, I don't know what that's saying. And what in this insane conviction does.
What that brings to mind is that passage there's a passage in the Bible, in one of Paul's letters to one of the churches that he wrote to, in one of his epistles. He talks about, and I don't think that's the only place that you will find it in the Bible where they talk about in weakness there is strength. Because basically what it says is that, and you just said it, when you talk about children that are born with some kind of illness or physical deformity or whatever, they're the happiest people in the world. And they don't pay any attention. We look on them as being handicapped, but they don't see themselves as being handicapped.
Right.
Are you muted?
Who, me?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you. Oh, I thought you were talking.
No, I'm trying to read because I didn't get it. I had to go and check on Wazion.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't read the this section.
I read it, but it was last week.
Mm-hmm. It symbolizes the defeat of God's Son and the triumph of his Father over him. It represents the ultimate defiance in a direct form, which the Son of God is forced to recognize. It stands for all that he would hide from himself to protect his life.
And notice the
he-
word life in quotes. Why is that?
Oh, because we believe that this is life, that this thing that we're living here in these bodies.
Okay.
And we think that when when these bodies come to its demise, we think of that as death.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he is healed, he is responsible for his thoughts. And if he is responsible for his thoughts, he will be killed to prove to him how weak and pitiful he is. But if he chooses death himself, his weakness is his strength. Now he has given himself what God would give him, and thus entirely usurped the throne of his creator. Now, I don't know what that's saying. Now he has given himself what God would give him, and thus entirely usurped the throne of his creator. What is that saying?
I think what this whole thing is the perceived purpose of sickness, because if you look at the title of this section, it says the perceived purpose of sickness. So basically, I think what that whole section is saying is it's an illusion.
It's an illusion. I agree.
Sickness is an illusion. It's
Yes.
But everything is an illusion.
There you
Not
go.
just sickness.
Right.
You said it.
Right.
You said
Right.
it. You hit it right there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
But what is this thing at the bottom? He would have usurped God. He would now has he given himself what God would give to him, and thus entirely usurped the throne of his creator. What is that saying?
again, I say it's just, I think, trying to explain the perceived purpose of sickness. It's all, and it goes back to that first sentence. Healing involves an understanding of what the illusion of sickness is for. And what he's saying in this section here, the perceived purpose of sickness, it's not for real, I guess. I mean, that's my interpretation of it anyway. That's my understanding of it, that it's all an illusion. It's not for real. And I mean, that's my understanding of it. Whether, that is what is meant by it, I don't know.
Okay, well, let me read it again. Let me read the whole thing. I got to read this whole thing
Okay.
again. Because, I mean, for me, I don't know, maybe, I have a, for me personally, I have a difficult time with pat answers. Just to say that everything is an illusion. Yeah, I know that. But that what does that mean when your baby has cancer?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or what does that mean if I have cancer?
Everything's an illusion, but in a greater sense. But guess what? At the end of the day, everything is real.
Well, I mean, reality is, is relevant. It's real when it's here in this physical form.
Right.
I mean, technically, yes, everything manifested is the mirror image of the real. And sickness itself would be classified when we perceive sickness, then we are seeing something that needs to be corrected It's
Mhm.
not in its natural form.
Okay.
So I mean, so that would be what perception is. So yeah,
Yes. Hello.
yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
We can hear you fine, Forrest. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so the perceived purpose of sickness.
Mhm.
Healing is accomplished. I'll just let me just read it real quick for me,
Okay.
because I didn't get a
Okay.
chance to. Healing is accomplished the instant the sufferer no longer sees any value in pain. Who would choose suffering unless he thought it brought him something and something of value to him? He must think it is a small price to pay for something of greater worth. For sickness is an election, a decision. It is the choice of weakness. It is the mistaken conviction that it is strength. When this occurs, real strength is seen as threat and health as danger. Sickness is a method conceived in madness for placing God's Son on his Father's throne. Okay, God is seen as outside, fierce and powerful, eager to keep all powerful himself. Only by his death can he be conquered by his Son. For what in this insane conviction does healing stand for? It symbolizes the defeat of God's Son and the triumph of his Father over him. It represents the ultimate defiance in a direct form, which the Son of God is forced to recognize. It stands for all that he would hide from himself to protect his life. If he is healed, he is responsible for his thoughts. And if he is responsible for his thoughts, he will be killed to prove to him, how weak and pitiful he is. But if he chooses death himself, his weakness is his strength. Now has he given himself what God would give to him, and thus entirely usurp the throne of his creator.
To me, that whole section is an illusion, really. Because to me, it's a 180-degree turnaround from what the course is all about. And could it be some kind of wake up something or other? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I do know that it is important that in order for us to understand healing, that we have to be healed. I mean, I
Right.
can't, I can't think of cancer as harmful if I am a believer. So if I want to heal, if you have cancer and I want to heal you from cancer, then I can't believe in cancer. So I do understand that. So, but when we're trying to, I think it's this part down here, right here, where it says, when this occurs, real strength is seen as threat and health as danger. And that kind of reminds me of, a hypochondriac or something.
Mhm.
sickness is a method conceived in madness for placing God's son on his father's throne. So that's saying that, you know, because we are egocentric as humans, you know, we see ourselves as individuals, we see our ego as ourself.
Okay.
And so that would be us placing God's son on his father's throne.
Okay.
God is seen as outside, fierce and powerful,
Okay.
eager to keep all the power for himself.
Okay.
Only by his death, only by killing God can he be conquered by his son. So if we are thinking that, if we're thinking that God is powerful and on the outside, then we have to appease or fight him or something, you know, in order to, then we would see his death, that, you know, I have conquered God, I beat God.
Okay.
And now I don't have to worry about this sickness or whatever.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
here.
we're here.
Okay.
Yeah. And although, you know, sickness is illusion, but everything is illusion. So what makes one illusion more valuable than another illusion?
Right.
I mean, that was a question. I'm
That was
asking
the
y'all.
question.
Say that again.
Say it again.
Okay, if sickness is an illusion, but everything is an illusion,
Okay.
why are we seeing that? Why are we seeing sickness as more valuable than, say, poverty? Because poverty is just as much as an illusion as sickness is, but you can live in both.
Well, I don't think they're the same at all. Poverty and sickness, I don't think they're the same. They're completely different. Poverty is different. Sickness, but poverty is greater than sickness. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure that out, because I mean, because poverty is an illusion. Poverty is much as an illusion as sickness is.
I don't think so. I don't agree with that.
So you
at
don't
all.
think poverty is an illusion?
No, poverty is
You think poverty is real?
can I tell you what poverty is? Poverty is poverty. That's not poverty. It's poverty. That's like black poverty is black. It's if you have poverty, like black people in Atlanta has poverty. That poverty is deep.
So you believe in poverty?
I've seen it. It's poverty is it's not the same.
So you believe in poverty?
No, I believe poverty is real, but poverty is really bad.
Okay, so am I taking this too far?
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm
sorry.
So
I'm just
am I
giving
taking
my
this too far?
opinion.
Because
I'm just giving my opinion.
yeah, because I can't be comfortable with just sickness is an illusion. I mean, everything is illusion. But I guess it really does matter what you believe in. Then.
That's the key.
Well, only thing I can say is my opinion, poverty in Atlanta is really bad. I mean, it's deep.
Poverty everywhere is really bad. Poverty everywhere is bad.
Not like Atlanta. Not like Atlanta.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Poverty in West
Or
Virginia,
Africa,
poverty in Africa, poverty anywhere is bad. Hunger is bad. Poverty is bad. Can't pay your bills. All of that stuff is bad. Everywhere you go, it's the same.
Well, poverty very often can be the cause of sickness, because if you're in poverty, you can't nourish but you don't have the wherewithal to get the nourishment that the body needs. And if the body is lacking in nourishment, then what happens? You get sick. So one is as bad as the other. And to me,
Chicago, Atlanta, LA is really bad.
Yeah, poverty everywhere. Williamsburg, Virginia, poverty is bad.
no matter where.
Yeah.
Because if you,
especially if you are the one that's impoverished.
Exactly.
You know.
Some of my
yeah, poverty is bad. Sickness is bad too.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing. I mean, you know, wealth isn't as much an illusion as sickness and poverty. All of that's illusion. Everything here on this planet is illusion. So that was my question. Why is my thought of?
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Can I have a question?
Uh-huh.
Would you go out at your house at that poverty in LA? Would you go outside today? No, you wouldn't. Some of that poverty, you would never go out. You would never go out. You would never go out. Unfortunately, that's not an illusion. You would not go out. So anyway, can we move on?
Yeah, because well, I don't, so I don't know. So maybe we would have to. So what is? So this is just saying, what is the purpose of sickness? Is illusion? It's got to be more than just illusion. So what is the purpose of sickness?
What is the purpose of sickness? That's the question.
Yes.
Come on. What is the purpose of sickness? People in the hospital. I'll make a little joke out of it. I'll try to make a joke.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I don't even know. So, I think I had.
So this is saying that the purpose of sickness is so that we think that God is that we are more powerful than God. Hello?
I'm here.
No, I'm talking to Forrest. Forrest, you calling me on the phone? Hello? Oh. Hey, you calling me on my phone?
I'm back.
Okay, so what is the perceived purpose of sickness? Hello? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, well, I can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, no, go ahead, Forrest, say that again. His call dropped.
Yeah.
So what is the perceived purpose of sickness, Harriet?
I don't know. Because
Okay.
what
Fine, back
like
on.
I said, what I'm seeing here is they're saying that it's all an illusion, and we and if it's an illusion, then we do need the healing if it's an illusion, because in order to get rid of it, we need to heal. I think.
But okay, when you can that Zoom, that's not an illusion. It's not an illusion. That's like one in the Zoom. That's not an illusion. That's real.
What's real for us? Say that again.
You okay?
No.
In the Zoom, in the hospital, right? You okay?
No, we can't hear you. Say it again.
I said, when I went in the Zoom, that wasn't an illusion. It was deep. It was. I liked it. Yes. Part of the treatment. Do you hear me okay?
No, I didn't hear that at all. What did he say? Did you hear him, Harriet?
No, it wasn't clear.
Okay. Come on. So, well, so the purpose of sickness is just to believe that everything is illusion, right?
Oh, right, right. So me,
that's the perceived purpose of sickness, is for us not to look at the illusion.
Listen, everything is an illusion. You drink a lot of water.
Come on.
It looks at, and looking at this, and I'm not sure if I have.
You said something for us?
I said,
okay, what were you saying, Harriet?
No, I was saying, and looking at this, I don't know how to really express this with any kind of clarity, but what I'm getting from this is that the purpose of sickness, and it says the perceived purpose of sickness, is more or less, we're in a dream state, maybe, and in a state of delusion. I'm not, because in paragraph 1, sentence 7, sickness is a method conceived in madness for placing God's Son on his Father's throne. What does that mean?
Where are you? Where you see that?
Sentence 7 in the first paragraph.
Sickness is a method conceived in madness for placing God's Son on his Father's throne. Well, yeah, because that's, what that's saying is that, that, you know, when because we have taken so much, made so much of an investment into our bodies, into these ego bodies, our
I was just
personality.
about to say, I think that's the key there. It's the ego taking over and making us, trying
Hello?
to make us.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
We're here.
we're here
Okay,
for,
okay, good. Okay,
we're here.
okay, good.
No, I was just saying that I think that you just hit it, because it's the ego that is creating this illusion of unreality.
Right. I think the ego is on top of everything.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of who we are. It's our ego. Yes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
gives us that little push.
Mm.
Me
And when
as
we
an
say,
artist, that's how I look at it.
can you maybe look up the word illusion? Because illusion doesn't necessarily mean something is not real. You know, we're looking at illusion not through metaphysical terms. We're looking at illusion through
Spiritual.
you know, the connotation. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Right.
okay. I understand.
Yeah, look up the word illusion.
Illusion. Okay, conventional, and this is from the Course in Miracles glossary.
Okay.
Something that seems real but is not. A belief about or perception of reality that is false. Now, the Course expands this common definition to include anything outside of heaven, anything that is imperfect, finite, or painful. And this includes any object, situation, or event in the world of time and space, including time and space themselves. It also includes and mainly refers to the majority of our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions while in this world. These are false perceptions of reality, which we dimly recognize as false, yet which we intensely desire and so try to make true.
Mm-hmm. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's how our dreams are. I mean, all our dreams for me are illusions for the future. So the illusion gives me in my dreams some things that I see for the future, for part of my ego that says what is it that my ego is saying? What do we have in this dream? So in this dream, it gives me what I see for my future on stage. It's really interesting. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard you.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. So I like the illusion,
Hmm.
because everything is like an illusion, part of your dreams, and dreams are illusions for me. I said dreams for me are illusions.
Hmm.
Okay, well, hold on a second. This T-Man.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Hey there, how you?
Harriet,
I'm here.
I had to leave I had to leave in an hour, so I had to kind of go because I have something I have to take care of. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll see
And
you
thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow
Okay.
at 11.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Did you hear that, Penelope?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, let's see. Andre's trying to come in, but
Oh.
he can't find his thing. So I gotta send him another one. Just gotta send him another
Oh,
invitation.
okay.
Oh, here it is. Oh, shucks. I don't know what I did just then. What is it? What happened?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. How come I can't get this to work here? I'm having a hard time with this working today. Oh, there we go.
What are you trying to do?
I told you Andre's coming in. I'm trying to
Oh.
get Andre,
Oh, you're trying to send him an
but my
invitation.
computer's running slow. Yeah.
Yeah, they're running slow today.
So hopefully he'll get it. Temporary error. What's that? I don't know whether because it said something about a temporary error. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
What that means. Okay, let's try it again. Oh no, here he is. He's coming in. Okay, that's good. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got
well,
it.
we can move on if you want to. I don't know if I'm going to
Yeah.
get it in this session.
I don't think so. I think it's something we just have to maybe
yeah,
as
some
we
words and some things in here just like this final sentence here. Now he has given himself what God would give to him, and thus entirely usurp the throne of his creator. What in the world is that saying? I mean, usurp, when you usurp a throne, that means you have like taken something over,
uprooted it
by force.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I
So
thought.
now he has and what in this insane conviction does healing stand for? It is symbolized to defeat. It symbolizes the defeat of God's Son and the triumph of his Father over him.
Where are you?
It represents I'm paragraph number 2.
Okay.
It represents the ultimate defiance in a direct form, which the Son of God is forced to recognize. It stands for all that he would hide from himself to protect his life. If he is healed, he is responsible for his thoughts. And if he is responsible for his thoughts, he will be killed to prove to him how weak and pitiful he is. And if he chooses death himself, his weakness is his strength. So now has he given himself what God would give to him, and thus entirely usurp the throne of his creator. So I guess this is, go ahead.
I was going to say, in reading this whole section, it's almost like it's contradicting itself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
And
I got that from the beginning.
and I'm looking at the title, Perceived Purpose of Sickness. So is it saying that the perceived purpose of sickness is a contradiction of healing? Or a contradiction of what? Is it healing or is it something else?
Well, I think it's because, like I said, this is, to me, it deals specifically with people who are making their own conscious decisions.
Without going to their creator or the source. I'm asking.
Yeah, maybe. It's just like, if you smoke cigarettes, you get cancer.
Right.
you get old, you get arthritis. You know,
Right.
it's, you know, that's what I think that this is, you know, these are like conscious decisions, thoughts, because after a while, you know, if you have sat down for all of these many years and watched all of these TV commercials, now you know that aspirin is the thing that fights against arthritis. But when I'm 9 and I'm just sitting around watching Bonanza with my family, I'm not realizing that the whole consciousness of arthritis is sinking in. So now I'm beginning to believe in arthritis.
At age 9,
Huh?
I said at age 9.
At age
Or-
9, yeah, because you believe it.
Yeah,
Because
well, I
it's on
mean,
TV. You got a grandma that got arthritis. You know, you know, you've heard of it so often, so now you believe that it's possible. So now you're believing in it. So that's a thought in
Yeah.
your mind.
well,
Yeah,
I
but
think
go
I'm
ahead.
just stepping in. I'm sorry, ladies. Hey, how's everybody doing this evening?
Doing
Good. How
good.
about you?
I'm doing good. I kind of was reading from where y'all read, and then thank you for going back all the way to the top so I could read it from where it comes as sickness.
Well, the perceived purpose of sickness.
Yeah, the perceived purpose of sickness.
That's what we're trying to figure out. What are they telling us?
He kind of caught me once you went to the first sentence, the first paragraph. He kind of caught me off guard with that as well. Where he says healing is an accomplishment, the instant of the sufferer. I'm sorry, I'm reading from my phone, so
Yeah.
um
And I don't
no
know how to
longer
make it bigger.
no longer sees any value in pain. And me personally, I have to object to that, because I know people who love to live in pain. I know people
Mhm.
who will always tell you, "Hey man, how your day going, man? My tooth hurt today. You know, hey, I got a crick in my neck. You know, I'm going to the doctor again. You know, and it leads to the second point of view of where the second sentence is like, unless that person, you know, unless that person is getting value or getting something from being that broken. So seeing what was said there, and then coming in where I came in to hear
Mhm.
the word usurper, it's like okay, bad choice of words. I think, I mean, I understand where the author is coming from, but kind
You
of
do?
bad
Because I
bad
don't.
choice of words. Bad choice of words. I'm
I
looking
don't know
at it
what
from
they talking about.
I'm looking at it from a bad choice of words. As far as using usurper, yes, we know that Jesus, you know, what we would call Jesus, or you know, God's begotten son, or however you want to say it. We already know that he was a sacrificial lamb, so we knew that the punishment was going to be the punishment, but it was not a punishment upon of course upon his body, yes, but it was not a punishment upon him. He could have easily, I do believe, personally me, I do believe he could have simply said, I'm not going to take that job. I'm not
Mhm.
going to, I don't care what y'all say, I'm not going to take that job. I'm not going
But
to do it.
yeah, but right here, God's son is us.
Mhm.
Because when the course talks about God's son, it's talking about us,
Us,
each
yeah.
So
individual.
yeah, so we're speaking,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's
so
not necessarily, you know, Jesus is usually the brother, because Jesus is the one that is dictating
Dictator.
the information.
so
So
the
it's not
author
really
is,
a book about him,
yeah, so
like the
the author is,
Bible is.
yeah, well, yeah, the author is basically saying that as us being creators,
So the author is Jesus. Jesus is the author.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when we create in this word we're speaking of as the parables of sickness, when we create, are we the usurper?
That's what I think that this is what this, I think that this is what this is saying.
Okay.
Where was it?
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
last
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This
Yeah, I
is
just
because this and so this is what I was saying, you know, the perceived purpose of sickness. Yeah, the perceived, so because we all are humans, we all have the same thought. So this is saying that we are purposefully believing in sickness as a way to conquer God, be stronger than God. Because this is what it's saying here on number 8. God is seen as outside, force, fierce and powerful, eager to keep all of his power for himself. Only by his death can he be conquered by his son. So this is saying that the egocentricness of humans, because we're all human, because we're all kind of ego driven, we're all believing in something to conquer that whole idea of God being stronger and more powerful than us.
Mhm.
And so, because yeah, and so I guess that's where your concept of illusion comes from, because that is the illusion, is that each of these bodies are separate from God,
Mhm.
or separate from God, you know.
And
lack
I
of a
think,
better word.
sometimes we need to perhaps step back and look at this and think about where it's coming from, who's speaking, and who are they speaking to. And I think when we do that, it might give us a little bit more clarity as to what is being said.
Yeah, I think that this is what this is. Hold on a second, y'all. I gotta go find what. Yeah, y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Harry, I caught it. Like I said, I came in a little late, and it's kind of ironic because that word has been kind of passing by me. Usurper has kind of been passing through my ears lately. I've been hearing it lately, so that's why I
Oh,
was like,
really?
"Oh, okay." Yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay." So once we went back and we read it, that's why I was like, "Okay, I'm not familiar." And then when we went to the top, so I only caught the the ending paragraph, and then I got to read the first paragraph, and I'm like, okay, well, I know what's going on. It's a meet in between. So that's those were my questions. Like, okay, how are we speaking on this point, and who are we speaking as being the usurper, and who is the messenger? But it was definitely, you all definitely cleared that out. And I do agree with you. I think that is something that we have to keep in mind, that this is that we're listening from a different point of view of mind.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And I guess that's what I was thinking of because um because we are, as a race of humans, we all believe the same thing because we tell each other the same thing. You know, in each society, we all are believing whatever our society is telling us.
mhm,
You know, if I said, you know, like here in America, we're taught, you know, to take a pill for it. You know that you know, there's, you know, something, it costs money. that's what that's what everything here is from the outside coming in. And I guess in other cultures and other believe in other places where they believe, but everybody believes in sickness.
mhm.
Well,
So, you know, and so I guess, you know, the thing is that because it is so entrenched, like I said, you know, I have carried a baby around in my arms, and I have, you know, while I'm watching something on television and that thing is talking about, you know, take a pill for this, or you know, or you need this. So, you know, you can't help but through osmosis come to believe that because you hear it so much and you see evidence of it.
Mhm.
So, you know, so I guess the perceived purpose of sickness is so that we can understand the
You're frozen.
for these two sentences, from these two paragraphs, I can't figure out what is the perceived purpose of sickness.
I mean, simplistically, I don't see any purpose.
Huh?
As, to put it simply, I don't see any purpose for sickness. Who wants to be sick?
I mean, well, you know, that is one of the questions, you know,
Yeah.
because I mean, you know, if it does hold value to you, you know, then
yeah,
then that's important to you. I'm gonna tell you what, I mean, I
yeah.
have
I
had
mean,
sarcoidosis for the last since I was 30, I got sarcoidosis, and sarcoidosis has been a benefit to me. It, you know, it is something
What
that has killed other people, but it has really been a benefit to me.
what is that?
It enabled me to sit at home and take care of my mother, my father, while they were, you know, in their critical
Right.
stages, in their transitory stages. I'm taking care of my grandson. So I mean, so it's valuable to me.
well,
And what
I
and
do
what
understand sickness,
mhm.
but so is this is this saying that the purpose that we perceive sickness is to um that, you know, that we are mainly believing in the ego and separating ourselves from spirit where is all life.
And you know what? I just, you know, in reading that second sentence, who would choose suffering unless he thought it brought him something and something of value to him? So what you're saying is that, but so is it really a sickness?
Oh yeah, it's really a
What do
sickness.
you call it? No.
I
What I'm
understand
saying
what you're
is,
saying.
what I'm saying
I
is,
think, yeah, I get you, Miss Harry. Can I piggyback off of you on that one?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
I think where we're talking about is a sickness, and we're forgetting and just because we're talking about that part, we're forgetting a different part of it, which no harm, no foul on that. But there is a difference between a sickness and an ailment. There's a difference between a sickness and a disease. You know, it's usually a sickness becomes a disease versus an ailment usually is something that, you know, can be treated and mentally, physically, and spiritually. as you know, Penelope just told us, you know, she has an ailment. She doesn't have a sickness. She doesn't look at it as a sickness. She has an ailment. You know, some people have arthritis and still lift weights. You know, they may have an ailment. They may not be able to do what they used to do, but it's not breaking them down. Versus you have people who, or you have mental or spiritually weakened people who do give up on themselves and say, I want people to feel sorry for me. And the easiest way for people to feel sorry for me is if they think that I am this way.
But that's what
So
this is. This, yeah, good. I was gonna say that's what this paragraph. That's what this is saying. You know, is that, you know, we are, you know, sickness is it is from the mind. You know, and I think that that's probably what this is.
The ailment. Yeah.
This is the purpose, the perceived purpose of sickness is because it comes from the collective consciousness of everybody throughout all of time has believed in sickness. And that's probably the reason that we continue to believe in sickness.
Yeah, I'm healthy, but something's wrong. I'm healthy, something's wrong though. My heart beating too fast.
Well, you know, we all know that, you know, these bodies are going to perish. There ain't no 3,000-year-old people that we know about. You know, it could be, but you know, they're not on television telling us about, you know, showing us how old they are and what they do to keep on living.
Perhaps because they are living in an area where they don't have all the problems of modern, shall we say, modern life as we know
3,000-year-old people. I don't think there is one.
Well, I'm not saying
if there is, they're not.
But so that's just the thing. You know, what is it that is the thing that, you know, what is the purpose of sickness? Is the purpose of sickness so that we leave from here, so that we are not staying here in this third dimension forever? Is that also a purpose of sickness?
Let's look at what you consider a sickness that you said you've had since you were 30. And the way you explained it, the way I'm seeing it, the way I see it is, it was a detour on your life's journey, because you probably had, at 30, you probably had in mind of taking one direction, and that sickness that you say you have kind of put you on another path to be where you were supposed to be when you were supposed to be there. Because if you had taken the path that you had envisioned for yourself, you might not have been able to do what you were able to do, or the things that you found later to be necessary, if I make sense.
Again, I mean, I'll piggyback, and I think that's while we're reading and dissecting this paragraph, it's a difference between a sickness and an ailment. You know, people.
But even between the sickness and the ailment, this is still saying that none of that is real. All of that is illusion. Sicknesses, ailments, all of that. None of that.
Well, what I mean by
all of those things stand against God and His throne.
Well, yes, and understandably, but what I mean as far as on this three-dimensional plane, we are still dealing with a certain element. So we have people who are like Beethoven or Stevie Wonder. You know, their ailments did not become a sickness to them. it was not, it did not stop them from progressing through life and for life to show their talent. If anything, it, like you were just saying, Pen, it produced more of a talent. It showed more of this person by this person not having what a lack or an ailment for that reason, instead of a sickness. A sickness is a person who can't get out of bed. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
you know.
But
a
is that
sickness
still the purpose of sickness? That's what I'm saying. I can't find in these two paragraphs the purpose of sickness, or even the perceived purpose of sickness. That's what I'm saying. I can't see what how these two paragraphs are telling me what is the purpose of sickness. Had y'all got it?
I don't see a I
No.
don't see a purpose. That, and
No.
I think we're all running around. I think we're all running around the mulberry bush. I don't necessarily see a purpose for sickness. Whether you
I
are,
think-
But
whether
this
you
is
are,
telling, I mean, this is what this is
Okay.
telling. Is it saying is because we are trying to usurp God's throne? That is the purpose of sickness, because we are trying to usurp God's throne.
But the title says the perceived purpose of sickness.
Right.
yeah,
And I think the key, I think we need to focus on perceived more so than purpose.
So what are we perceiving?
I don't know.
I perceive. I mean, what I perceive that I'll go. Again, I didn't get to really dissect, but from where we're at in our conversation already, I can perceive that sickness is something that we alone can create, and it comes from miscreation, and it comes from us, from doubt and fear, and that however it breeds into however your chemistry goes, whether it's anxiety, whether it's anger, whether it's depression, it's your that miscreation is gonna come out of you, and you can and you recognize it. It's up to you if you can hold if you are strong enough into what's ailing you, because I think those are personal. I think it's sickness is more of a personal thing. Now I'm thinking of it and the perception of it. I think it's more of a purple. It's more of a personal thing than a society thing, and yes, we can pass it along. I think it can be passed along, but it's more of a personal thing. It's more how we choose to see ourselves, live our lives, eat, exercise, etc., etc., etc. Pray or be in tune or whatever. However if you stay in the dark and you go into and if you stay in a dark room all the time, when you go in the light, yeah, it hurts your eyes. Yeah, you're gonna get
Hey,
it.
it's 6:27, so I'm gonna let you continue. I mean, finish out your thought, but just add your round table to that.
Yeah, I'm
So what
finished
did
on
you
that.
get from the class today, and how can you apply it to your life?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done on that. I'm seeing sickness as a balance. If you stay in a dark room, when you come into a room full of light, or you go outside, yeah, it's supposed to hurt your eyes. It's something new. Yeah, it's a shock. Yeah, you're not gonna feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's something. So it's all about how we take that intake. So I'm gonna try to take this new intake that I have and definitely not make it a sickness.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. How about you, Harriet? What,
Um,
what, what-
like I said, this whole thing today, in a sense to me is contradictory, but at the same time, it kind of it just reminded me of something that was said to me years ago, when I was in counseling, and the idea was that somebody when somebody asks for a healing, they are healed of one thing, but then they will find something else because there's a comfort in there's a certain amount of comfort that is derived from being sick because of the whatever the attention that one might get by having whatever it is that ails them.
Mhm.
And
Come on,
personally,
come on.
personally, I don't like feeling uncomfortable or diseased or feeling, as the old folks used to say, poly.
Mhm.
I I I I just like feeling, energetic and able to do things. Now, being tired, that's one thing. But because tired means that you have done enough, it's time for you to slow this physical body down and take a rest. And rest is a part of being healthy, to stay healthy. Wherein sickness, well, it kind of knocks you off your feet and it holds you down for a period of time. And I don't like that.
Mhm.
And I'm going to do everything that I can to stay as healthy as I can, as long as I can.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I guess what I got from this class today is, this is the this is the section is how is healing accomplished. And so these first two paragraphs were supposed to tell us what the purpose of sickness is. And yeah, personally, I probably have to read it again. And this, when I did look at it in my book, it had no lines in it. No, it wasn't underlined. It wasn't dated. So obviously it didn't stick in there, probably because of the same thing, right? What I saw today, because I'm really not understanding what it wants me to know about sickness, so because I know that sickness really is not the main focus,
Right.
but is it saying that I'm trying to usurp God's throne because I'm still warring, having this battle with God within myself? And or is it just because, you know, everybody in the whole world has always, it is just in our consciousness as humans that we are that we understand sickness and death as opposed to health and life. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to probably read this again and see what it is that it's trying to relay to me, because first of all, I do know that heal I know that I can heal. I have, prayed many times for people and or sent healing to somebody, and they said, I was laying down and around about 2 o'clock, I just felt better. And I got on up, and I know it was me. I know it had something to do with it because it was my prayer at that exact time. And so I do know that these things are possible. And this is what this is trying to show us how to live, is that we always live according to the idea that there is no such thing as sickness, that there is no value in pain, that there is no value for not only for myself, but for anybody, to be in any illusionary form. So I think that this is what it's telling me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it over again and try to see how this works out for me, because I know this is telling me something. I just can't figure out what it is. And how you trying to hold something down but when you're trying to tie a string and you got to hold it down with your finger, you just can't tie it right because your finger's in the way. I think that this is what this is showing me right now. So, but this has been an interesting class because golly, it's 6:34 already, and we started at 5.
I know. But when you said that you didn't have any lines in your book, it made me go back and look at my book. And the only thing that I have highlighted is that first sentence. Healing is accomplished the instant the sufferer no longer sees any value in pain. And that's the only thing in my book that I highlighted. So.
Yeah, and I think that I think that this is saying that first we and this is very much what we always learn about in A Science of Mind, is that the practitioner has to treat himself before he can treat somebody else.
Exactly.
So yeah, I do have to realize that there is no value in pain for me. So that when I pass that on, that's the thing that I pass on to the next person.
Right.
So
yeah.
I think I'm getting it. But this one
slowly but surely.
I'm glad we did it like this, because this one needed all this time to itself.
Yeah, it did. It really did. It really did.
Yeah, we could.
I still need some clarity.
Yeah, I still need some clarity. Yeah, because it's kind of topsy-turvy inside and out, and probably on the next section we'll say, oh yeah, well that's what all that gobbledygook was about.
Right. I kind of have a feeling that's what the next section is all about, because what's the shift in perception.
Right. Yeah. Because we have to stop believing. And that's just the thing, we believe it.
Right.
And because we all as humans believe it, then this is what's going to happen. So this is what's going to manifest. Very interesting. Very interesting. Great. This was really, I'm glad we did it like this. That was a good idea, Harriet, that you had.
I thought you had it.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was you.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hey, hold on.
I'm still here, Miss Harriet.
Oh, I thought you were muted.
All right.
No, I was. I'm just being quiet.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to cook these. I'm in a fight with a chicken right now.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's it for today. Our session. It was 6. I thought it was a good session, and I liked.
I did too.
Yeah, and I like it that I'm ending up a session stumped. I'm still stumped, I'm still stumped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. And I think that this is really interesting, and we brought out some we brought out some good topics too, but because we talked about illusion, we mentioned something else we looked up. I can't remember what it was, but we did look up a couple of words.
Right.
So, we looked up sickness, we looked up illusion. So those are things that, really, when you do a deep dive, yeah, sometimes there is a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's one of the things I do enjoy about our classes is that when we're here to so that everybody can get that clear understanding. And I really appreciate that from everybody.
Yeah. So do I. I find it very helpful and very enlightening.
And I don't have my calendar, but tomorrow morning at 11, we'll work with Forrest is going to come and do I am. At 7 p.m. we will be the Book of Longings with Sakina. I don't think we have anything. What's going on Saturday? Oh, Harriet, you're doing the
chakras.
The chakras. And I don't know what's happening on Sunday. Oh, Sunday is Mother's Day. And Sunday was Mother's Day. And so we had to decide what we wanted to do, whether we were going to meet or not. Were we meeting?
I don't remember.
I don't know. What do you want to?
I don't think we said we were. I don't think we decided on meeting or what would be.
Well, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not doing anything. So we can just sit and chat. One of the things that I wouldn't mind having a conversation about with people is names. So that might be kind of like a fun topic.
The meaning of names?
Yeah, our names. What do our names mean? Why do we name? why do we even have names? What do the names mean? I always thought that's an interesting topic. But anyway,
yeah.
It's like my name means weaver, industriousness, and I guess I am an industrious person, and I do like fine details. So I mean, that name just happens to fit me.
Right. I've never really found the meaning of my name.
Well, that would be kind of interesting to find out.
But
I have looked for it, but I just haven't found it. Not recently, so maybe if I did a Google, I'll find something.
Get a Google search, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today, everybody. So, Andre, would you like to close us out in prayer?
Yes.
Anybody? Harry, you want to say say the thing about?
Yeah, subscribe, like, and comment on our YouTube page, which is Inner Haven, and it is because there's several Inner Havens on the YouTube channel. So, but ours is the green circle with the white letter I in the middle.
Thank you. Okay, Andre, would you like to close us out in prayer?
No problem. Again, Heavenly Father, we come to you to understand your words, your wisdom, how to understand the life, the times, the journeys that we go through, to show us what you want us to see in the God that we are, in the gods that you wanted us to be, and not to miscreate, so we do not pass a sickness towards one another, to heal one another, to understand that we can come together and speak and understand that sickness is just a perception. With these things, we all say peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
And blessings.
All right then, everybody. I love
Bye
y'all.
all.
Thank you
Love
all
ya.
for today. This was a really good session. It was a really good session. I
Bye
enjoyed it.
now. I did too.
Hey, Wazian, what's up, man?
You gonna say hello? He said hello, bye.